What's up, everybody? Darthcastle here. I hope you can see us. So today we're going to talk about my personal Mount Everest, XM Ghostrider. Stay tuned. So, this goes back a ways, 2016-ish, maybe 15, I saw a video, not knowing it was Singapore Toy Game Comic-Con, it was just when I was new to the hobby, and, I just watched a lot of videos. You try to get an idea what you like and, whatever. And I remember I saw 3 statues on this video. Somebody took, it was XM, still not knowing it was XM, but I just remember seeing it. First they showed Black Panther, the XM Black Panther, and it was an early render because it didn't look like the piece that came out, that we finally got. And I was like, wow, that looks great. You know what I mean? Then they showed XM Punisher, which I think I forwarded to him and showed it to him. And that pretty much looked like the statue that we got. And then they showed this. And I remember pausing this on the screen, like that, like statue wise, it was the most amazing thing I ever saw. You know what I mean? And I just said to myself, I just told myself, there's no way I would ever be able to get this. Just no way. I just accepted it, and that was it, But circumstances arose, and the statue god said, let it be so. And here we are. And thanks to my boy Leo DeSanctis, made it all possible. And we're gonna get into it. And first,
Man, so I remember all the videos and all the pictures of this thing, and you can't be anything but impressed with it. Getting this close to it, the size, like you feel the size of this thing. It's not, we don't even have it on the Lazy Susan, because worried about spinning it around. But the size of this thing is massive. Scared to know how much it weighs, but
it's pushing 60.
Yeah, I can believe it. But this is, and I forget, we did a video and we were talking about freeze frames of like comic pages, and this is an example of that. This is one of those things. Sure, you could draw it on a piece of paper. You could draw goes right on the bike, and the bike's flames all over the place. How in the world do you get from having it on a piece of paper to a 3D piece of art like this, where you go all around it, and it's a flaming bike, and copping a wheelie, getting ready to speed off, and him with the chain swinging it. Like, how do you get that in 3D? So for like XM, some geniuses to be able to pull that off and make it work. And like, this is one of those pieces, whether it's your grail or you just really like it, is one of those pieces that will always be, when you think XM, this is going to be one of those things, one of those pieces that first pop in your head for XM. So,
well, first off, before we even get into the engineering of this thing, those of you who don't know, Johnny Blaze, he was we call like Eva Knievel type of dude, and he sold his soul to the devil, and he became the Ghostrider. You know what I mean? And for me, this is Ghostrider for me. Now they got some dude in a car, whatever, and it just doesn't work. I mean, there are a lot of Ghostriders if you read the book. All around the world, there are different Ghostriders. Some ride horses, some ride elephants. It's different things. You know, yeah, elephant. There's one in India that rides an elephant. You know what I mean? So
is the elephant on fire?
The elephant's on fire. Yeah, the elephant's on fire.
Damn.
So it's crazy.
Peter ain't called y'all yet.
Yeah, no, they ain't coming after this dude. Believe me. Well, I wouldn't recommend it. But yeah, so that's that's his deal. You know, and the thing is, I was a fan. You know, I mean, he wasn't in my top 5 or anything, but I read, but when they started getting deep into that devil stuff, I didn't read it no more. But he was cool. He's a bad dude. A lot of people don't know how powerful Ghostrider really is. Supernatural. So kind of hard to stop. But anyway, as far as the piece goes, all these flames you see on the base, they're all individual pieces. They're color coded. So what they did was, there's like say one piece is pink on the bottom, you got pink on the base, and that that's where the flame goes. I would, if you do plan on getting this piece and you plan on moving it, I would highly recommend taking it apart before you move it. Do not, under any circumstances, try to move this piece as a whole piece. It's not going to end well for you, because the part you want to worry about is this front flame that's supporting the wheel on the front. That's what you really worry about, the most. And you got all kind of other flames sticking out. And the dynamic that they pull this off of is just, it amazes me. Every time I see it, I'm just amazed. I mean, one, that I have the piece is what amazes me, and two, just the mere sight of it. And this is one of, like you said, when you think XM, this and Magneto on the Throne, those are the 2 pieces you think about immediately. You know what I mean? It's one of the nostalgic pieces out there. For me, it's still, I put this in the ring against any piece. It just, for me, it's that good. It's just one thing. It's just one thing I can think of this piece that I would change, and it's not like a physical, as far as the sculpt or anything. I just think, after seeing the new XM Dark Phoenix, if the shading on the flames on that is very close to perfect, and that's something I think these flames on this kind of lacks. If they could get the shading a little bit better on the which actually had me thinking, sending. That's the thing, that I don't want to send it anywhere to get painted. If somebody local. But even the fact that somebody having it, it would, they would actually have to come here and paint it.
That takes a lot of faith.
Yeah, so it's just, yeah, I don't see myself doing it. But for me, I could accept that. I've actually seen pictures of somebody, because there is a blue flame Ghostrider. Somebody had taken one of these and painted the flames blue, and it did look. It was tough. And I wouldn't do it. What I mean? Maybe if I had 2 of them, I would do that. And that'd be pretty sweet. But if it was my only one, no, it's no way in hell I would do that. But yeah, this is a piece. Every time when people come down here, this piece stops people in their tracks every single time. You know what I mean? And they watch. It's like this type of situation. Oh, that's nice. Then they get to like. It's always a freeze frame with this. You know what I mean? And this is my Everest. Right now it's I remember what is it? Mr. Brooks described falling in love, and he was saying, you date different people, and they're nice, but he said you find that one that makes your heart beat faster. There's no piece that I've seen so far. Through my entire collecting, it includes my main man Darth Vader, that has made my heart beat faster like this piece. That's just how it is. And it's just until somebody makes the meditation chamber done right, then I don't see that happening. You know what I mean? So
and that's important. I mean, because that says it in a nutshell, because I know for me, your emotional feel about a statue is tops. That's why this hobby is so great. Some people can love the look of things, and some people get goosebumps over certain things, and that's what makes this hobby great, because everybody loves different things, and when you can have that reaction to a piece, you know it wasn't Phil as he always said. Yeah, like it was a perfect buy for you. Yeah. Like what you said about the flames, I agree. But the funny thing is, like, there are places on this where I think the flames are done really, really well. Yeah. Like all that. On the chain, yeah. Like how they have some of the darkness, and like even like this area in the back, y'all can't see it yet. Yeah. But like, so there are spots where like they do it where it's getting kind of close to the Dark Phoenix level. So like, yeah, like the wheel, I would like to see done with that kind of treatment, and maybe that will too. But yeah, it's like, you know, they go back and forth, because then there are other spots of it that I look at and it reminds me of like the Boba Fett and your issue with the candy corn. Right. But yeah, other than the coloring on the flames, I can't see anything to look at to say, you know, they should change that, or I wish that wasn't there, because this is another one of those pieces, like I said before, it's like a freeze frame. Yeah. Like rip it from the paper and make it in 3D, and then you have this. And yeah, I it's hype that's well deserved. You know, I can definitely understand why so many people claim this as their #1. And it's high on my list. You know, it's not my #1, but it's definitely high on my list. It's a piece. Put it this way: people talk about grails, and I hate that term, but a lot of those pieces are pieces that if you gave me, I would be looking to sell. This is one of those pieces, if you gave me, it wouldn't go anywhere. You know? So, you know, take that for what it's worth. Okay. But, and I don't know if this is one of those pieces people decided to label grail or not. I mean, I don't really like the G word.
I mean, you in my opinion, you'd have to, and that's, you know, not even me being biased, but, you know, even you want to talk detail. I mean, it's detail on top of detail on this thing. I mean, even you look in his mouth, you can see his spinal column. You know what I mean? And on the bike, you know, it's cables and wires. And one thing I did want to note, you know, this ain't the unboxing. I think we said in the unboxing, there's a carburetor piece in here that's not in the instruction manual, and it's the sort of small side you want to put on. It's like you'll see the space through the middle of the bike. You want to put on the right, and then the sort of like cylinder, like oval shaped one, you put on the other side, and there's a magnet connects them. And that's not in the instructions. They said that on the XM page on Facebook, I believe, when it first came out. So
now is this stuff metal, or is this?
Yeah, oh yeah. This is all these parts of the engine, the frame on the bike, it's all metal. All the frames on the bike is metal. Only thing is PVC is the chain. And I think a few of the spikes that touch the inside, I think those are rubber so that they don't break. But all the spikes on his around his leg, on the inside here, there's they're rubber so they don't break off when they make contact with the bike. You know. But all the bars that he has his feet on, the pedals, the frame on the bike, like I said, all that's metal. Even back here, the fenders.
And is he a separate body, like his whole body?
His body is one piece, yeah, minus the head.
Is it a peg or a magnet?
It's a magnet. The head is a magnet. There's a peg in his bottom. Yeah, but and that holds him to the seat. And I mean the wrinkles in the jacket, even the ring. I'm looking at it now. It's something I never noticed. The wrinkles on the seat when he's sitting on it. You know, it's on one side. You can tell like his weight is shifted. The wrinkles on one side are more obvious than on the other side. You know what I mean? And like I said, this is one you could check it out and for days. And I've had it almost a year now, and it's still things I'm noticing now that I didn't see before, like with the seat. You know what I mean? And
yeah, I mean, you know, I think bike pieces are, at least for XM, it's the thing now. And I have the Punisher XM bike.
Same
piece.
artist, by the way.
Yeah.
I forgot his name, but it's the same
But
artist.
this one crushes it. I like it. Punisher's my boy. But I look at these two and I say, like, you know, the Punisher bike piece is impressive. You gotta get close up to it and pick everything out and see it. But this one is one of those that you see from a distance and it grabs all your attention. And yeah, this one ain't much you can say wrong about it.
And you get an art print with it, which is pretty nice. I actually saw a guy recently went to IKEA, and he got frames and he put all his XM art prints up, and they look pretty nice. So I'm just thinking about doing that. I've copied which frame he got, so I'm gonna get me one. And
so now
put up
with the front wheel,
yeah.
Does it key into this arm or does it just sit on top of it?
Yeah, it's a key. It's a peg that you sit the peg on the on this whole front flame thing. That's all for support of the front wheel, and then you put the wheel on the peg. There's a peg, right? There's a key in the bottom of the wheel, and then there's like a slot right where the where it meets the handlebars, and it slides right in onto the bike, and it makes it all. And then the handlebars are a separate piece. Let's talk about the chain, because the chain, you can't really see it. You'll see the pictures. This is one piece that goes on the handlebars, and it stops right here. Then where the flame, basically we see all the flames except for this one, is a different piece of chain. Here is all the way down the side of his body. It goes right by his hip. That's one piece of chain. Then there's a flame. Again, you'll see in the pictures. There's a flame that connects that to the bike, and then this part right here that goes around connects to his hand. Then you have this loop part. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of chain that make it, that they've made the illusion as if, because remember one of his powers is he can control this chain and everything, and like almost like the chain is alive type of moving type of situation, you know. So they've managed to capture that. And as our boy Gio says, this piece is what brought museum pieces to Boba Fett. This name your moving piece here, you know, pieces that look as if they're in motion. And this is
Iron Fist for me.
Iron Fist too, exactly. Yeah. This is what's the bridge to all that kind of stuff, you know. I think I believe it was ahead of its time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you had to start somewhere, you know, and you know, I'll end like with this, you know, are there better pieces? Of course there are, you know what I mean? Is not many in my opinion, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'll put this up against anything you come up with. Now, as technology gets better, you know, you're going to see better and better stuff, but, you know, I think this one will hold up for a long time. You know what I mean? You know, we've seen, and that's the thing that's funny, because we've seen some of the nostalgic sideshow pieces, and you look at them like, y'all paid how much for that shit? Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
it's like, you know, but I think this one, it's going to be a while before, especially if they make another Ghostrider, that will take this. Oh, you know, because you hear it all the time. Oh, whatever is dead, and Magneto on the throne is. You know, they always trying to dethrone something. It's gonna be a while before they make another Ghostrider dethrone it. Just my opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is one of those pieces that definitely, for the different artists and companies, opens up possibilities and imagination. Because at one point you were thinking, all right, do a dude standing in a pose, and then do a dude with a little bit of action, and somebody had the guts be like, let's put Ghostrider on a bike with flames all around him doing a wheelie, and then sculpt it, not drawn on paper, like make a sculpt of it. And they stepped out and did it, and so now you get, I guess you would call it like a renaissance. You get other companies and XM and Sideshow and Prime One and other people like thinking
Yeah.
bigger
Yeah.
and thinking more action and thinking, all right, we're not limited to, you know, the museum stuff. We can try to do some dynamic stuff and figure out ways to make it work. Like, I don't know if, you know, for all the crap it gets with the price, I don't know if people would have, if they would have attempted the new Rogue, if not for stuff like this. You know, just because the engineering on this is one of those things. It's like, how do you do that? And they did it, and they made it work, and they made everybody else step up. So that's definitely props to them. Yeah.
Another thing I think is cool about this piece is the license plate. The number on the license plate is the number of your piece. So I think that's pretty cool. You know what I
It's
mean?
a good touch.
Yeah. So
Yeah, Punisher ain't get that treatment.
yeah, that's strange.
Yeah, he ain't get that
Because
treatment.
they came out like around the same time. So.
I know, he ain't got nothing on the license plate.
Yeah.
I'd be curious if the cat.
There's nothing on the license plate at all.
Not.
This is like New York or something, doesn't it?
I gotta look at it again. I'm pretty sure there's nothing on the license plate. I gotta look at it again. Gotta never look at the back of it. So,
right. Yeah.
But yeah, I wonder if Catwoman has anything either.
I don't know.
But yeah, it's, you know, this forced people to think bigger.
Yeah.
And
All started with this guy.
and so that definitely gets a lot of credit for this. And yeah, it blows away what people label as, you know, the old nostalgia, OG pieces. And
I remember they did a poll one day in one of the groups, probably I think it was Red Titan, and they said which is XM best. It was basically came down to this and Magneto, and it was like I'd say 65% of people said this. You know what I mean? And then they came back, oh, Magneto tells the better story. Yeah, it's true, but I mean, what's the better piece? You know what I mean, in my opinion. And it just, to me, I mean, I've never seen Magneto in person. I like it, you know what I mean? But they couldn't, you couldn't pay me to trade this for that, you know. So,
I was on the Magneto side.
Yeah.
But part of that is because he's a villain I really like, and I do love the story of the base of him taking care of all the X-Men, getting rid of them, and he's just resting. I like that story better, but this is the more impressive like feat. like this, like if you're going, hey, well, which one took the most work? No question, this one took the most work. Magneto just appeals to me more because of the character and because I like the story. But I mean, you know, it's like my two Bruce Lee statues. Like one of them is my favorite, but it's not the one that I think took the most work. So,
now I would like to see Magneto in person one day.
oh yeah,
You know,
I would too.
So
I ain't buying it.
no, not for what they ask.
It's going for crazy money, but yeah, this is one I remember you were excited for this for a long time. Remember did the unboxing, thought he was gonna damn near cry.
Yeah, you know, another funny story with this. There's a couple funny stories with this piece. Super Bowl Sunday. Harley, I love you. That's my barber. You know, she's
shout out.
Yeah, we'll see you when the season starts. Super Bowl Sunday. My barber came over. First football party, she came over. I used to have it sitting right here, and then my wife convinced me I should have all my Star Wars pieces together. Duh, what a concept. Because I kind of had it as like a center, but you know, I put him over there on his own. But when he was here, my barber came. She set a seat right here. I had coffee tables and everything in front of me. No, she sits her beer right here next to Ghostrider. Me and Rodney kind of looked at each other from across the room. So she goes upstairs to get some food. I said, get that beer right. You know, she comes with, where my beer goes? Oh, it's here. You know what I mean? Like, so, you know, and then the day I got this piece, somebody had hit my car, so I had like a rental car. I actually had a pickup truck. And when I went to Leo's house to get it, it had rained that morning, but it had stopped, you know, so the bed of the truck was wet. So we lined the bed of the truck with trash bags. And anybody knows these XM boxes are huge, but you know they're not that big. You know, so we put the box on, you know, with the trash bag, and I'm going down the interstate, and these trash bags are flying out of the back of the truck, and I'm like, thank God the police not out here. You know what I mean? So you know, if it hit somebody in the windshield, I'd have been done. But you know, I had Ghostrider. I didn't give a damn. So. You know, but yeah. So he got here.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah.
And
this is his personal grill.
yeah.
That's the only way I like that Jeep work.
Yeah,
it's a personal thing.
Agreed.
Yeah, so
That's pretty much it, y'all. You know, it's nothing more I can add.
yeah, man.
If you have a chance to get it, do it. Don't even think about it.
It's a good one. Very good one.
That's the story here.